Hi Bachao, we have studied in our last video about chapter 6 life processes of standard 10. In that we talked about there are some kind of a life processes in all living organism, and there are four defined types of a life processes. First we started studying nutrition. There are two types of nutrition we can think of, or autotrophic nutrition or heterotrophic nutrition. In a autotrophic nutrition, we talked about green plants and how do they have a photosynthesis method, they can produce their own food. But now let us talk about a heterotrophic nutrition. Of course, heterotrophic nutrition means depends on someone, depends on other things, no complex substances. But heterotrophic nutrition is very diverse in organisms. Why? If you see fungi like molds in a bread, or bread molds, you have seen fungi like bread molds. They get their nutrition from the bread, or fungi like, or some other organism like mushroom. They get their food, but they digest their food outside of their body and then absorb it. Okay? Other kind of animals don't do that, right? Cow or lion, they don't digest their food outside their body. But fungi like bread molds, they do that. There is also other kind of a nutrition or a parasitic nutrition, we can say that. Leeches are there, ticks. Okay, the dogs have ticks sometimes. They what do they do? They feed on the host. They don't kill their host, but they feed on their host. After a long term, of course, that's gonna have an effect on the host, but they don't kill them. Okay, there is also called Amar whale. That is a parasitic nutrition. In your standard 10, we are going to talk about two types of nutrition, in a single cell nutrition and also nutrition in human beings. Okay, we are going to study the nutrition in a human beings. How do we digest our food? So let us talk about first in a nutrition of a single cell organism. So in your books, nutrition in amoeba is given. So it is very easy. You have to understand how the amoeba takes its food and how it digests it. Okay, now let us see first. What will happen when amoeba takes in food using temporary finger-like extension of the cell surface which fuse over the food particle? What will happen? Okay, let us say there is amoeba. It has a nucleus, single cell organisms, and the food particle is nearby it. What will happen? It will have an extension of its body. You can also say fake legs. Okay, but it is known as a pseudopodia. Okay, it extends its fake legs and it captures that food particle. So we can say that amoeba takes in food using temporary finger-like extension. It is a temporary finger-like extension of the cell surface which fuse over the food particle. It will fuse over the food particle, forming a food vacuole. You can see here they have formed a food vacuole. What is a food vacuole? A sac. Okay, bag. Okay, food vacuole is some kind of a bag or a sac. Now, in a food vacuole, they will start digesting. Inside the food vacuole, complex substances are broken down. The food particle is a complex substance. It is now being broken down into simpler one. They are broken down into simpler one, which then diffuses into cytoplasm. Okay, it is a single cell organism, but they have a cytoplasm, and that food is now being broken down and the nutrition are being absorbed and transferred into diffuse into or transfer into cytoplasm. Now, the digestion process has occurred. We all know the vestigial material. What will happen? The remaining undigested material is moved to the surface of the cell and thrown out. They are move to the surface of the cell and they are thrown out of the amoeba. Okay, once again, bacha, in a single cell organism, what happens? Amoeba takes food using a finger-like extension known as a pseudopodia, or we can say fake legs. They will wrap the food particle, and it will create a food vacuole. Food vacuole. What is a food vacuole? It is like a sac or a bag. Now, in a food vacuole, it will now try to digest the food particle. Now, that food particle absorbs the important nutrients and then diffuses into cytoplasm. The remaining part will be thrown out of the cell. So this is how the heterotrophic nutrition in amoeba happens. There is also another single cell organism like a paramecium. Well, in a paramecium and amoeba, both are single cell, but they have a different method of nutrition in them. Why? Well, amoeba is an indefinite shape. Amoeba has an indefinite shape, but paramecium has a definite shape. So what will happen? Paramecium will use their cilia. Okay, paramecium has a cilia. They have a tiny legs. That cilia will move that food particle to a particular place of the cell body, and then they will ingest it, and then they will digest it and have a nutrition from that food particle. Okay, so this is our nutrition in amoeba, or we can say that nutrition in single cell organism happens. Okay, now we are going to study nutrition in human beings. Okay, bachao, now let us see. We have studied the nutrition in single cell organism. Now we are going to study in a human beings. Okay, human alimentary canal or a human digestive system. You can see that. You can say that. Here, the outline of a human alimentary canal or a human digestive system is given. Okay, in your boards or in your exam, you can draw like this. You don't have to make it as same as your books they have given you. Okay, you don't have to draw it like that. You can draw it like this also. Okay, outline of a human alimentary canal. Good. Now, few of the things you have to now understand first before we study. So, we digest food in a sense, right? We eat something and we digest. But actually, we don't digest that food. We digest what is in that. Means that there are three types of a main ingredient, or we can say that nutritions are there. What are there? Carbohydrates. Okay. Second is protein. Okay. Carbohydrates, protein, and third is fat. So any food that we eat contains these three: carbohydrates, protein, or fat. Okay, in a different proportion. If you are eating high protein, fibers or carbohydrates food, that will have more carbohydrates or protein, or you are eating any meat or some kind of a thing, you will have more fat in them. But these three are going to be digested in nutrients called, now carbohydrates will digest into glucose. You have to remember this. Protein will digest into amino acid, and fat will get digested into fatty acid and glycerol. Okay, these things you have to remember. Also, another term is given to you in your books: enzymes. Okay, enzymes. Now, what are enzymes? So, enzymes are just like a catalyst. Okay, we have in a chemistry catalyst. What do the function of a catalyst is? The catalyst performs what? They perform, or they help to perform the reaction. So there are some kind of enzymes or catalysts are there, but they are biological catalysts. Okay, that is why we say them as enzymes. Okay, So each part of the alimentary canal will secrete some kind of enzyme that will help us to digest carbohydrates, protein, fat and convert them into glucose, amino acid, fatty acid and glycerol. Okay? Padsa bachcha? Okay. Now let us see. So alimentary canal is given here. So alimentary canal is made of different organs. So let us name them first. So different organ we can say them. Is the first is a buccal cavity, or we can say mouth. Okay. The second is a esophagus or food pipe, stomach, liver, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, appendix, and last anus. So this is your alimentary canals organs. What? Buccal cavity, mouth, esophagus, food pipe, stomach, liver, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, appendix and anus. So how a human being converts these into this? So in each step different kind of a processes are there and we are going to learn one by one. Okay. What happens when a human being eats something or we take something as a food? So first we grind in our mouth, in our buccal cavity. Okay. So to grind it we need teeth. So there are 4 kind of teeth in human beings. Okay, canine, incisors, molars and premolar. Okay, canine, incisor, molars and premolars. Now when we eat and now we are grinding in our mouth, you can feel that it is being a bit wet, right? Why? Why some water is added from our mouth into the food? So you have to remember this, that these organs are very soft. They have a very soft tissues. And that food that we have been eating can harm them. Or their hard texture can harm them. So what happens? It will secrete water. Now what is water? Right? So you have seen or you have experienced what? So when your favorite or delicious dish or a food is there, your mouth gets watery, right? So it is not just water. There is something in there and that is called saliva. Now, how do saliva secretes? So there is a gland called salivary gland. Okay? There is a gland called salivary gland. Secrete saliva. Now saliva has a enzyme called, you have to remember this, saliva has a enzyme called salivary amylase. Okay, which enzyme salivary gland excretes or secretes? Salivary amylase. Now salivary amylase will digest. Okay, so digestion of a food starts from your mouth. Not your stomach or intestine. It starts from the mouth. What will salivary amylase do? Salivary amylase will do digest carbohydrates into glucose. You have to understand that. Again, what happens when we take food? The teeth has 4 types and they will grind. Also in them the water will be added. Some kind of water. It's a fluid. What kind of a fluid secretes? The salivary gland secretes that fluid, saliva, and saliva has an enzyme called salivary amylase, and that will transform or digest carbohydrates in that food into glucose. Okay. Now that food is moved ahead into the food pipe or esophagus. Now that food is moved ahead into what, bacha? Food pipe or a esophagus. Now it is just not pushed as we eat. It is a rhythmic movement, and that rhythmic movement of what? Pushing down the food ahead of a rhythmic movement is known as a peristaltic movement. Okay? It is known as a peristaltic movement. What is a peristaltic movement? So passing down food rhythmically from mouth to stomach by esophagus is known as a peristaltic movement. Okay. Now the food has come into stomach. Okay. Now come on, stomach is like a sack, okay, bag. When the food enters, it swells up. What happens there? So stomach now starts to digest food. Some kind of a food will digest into stomach. Now let us understand. Stomach also has some kind of a glands, and that is known as a gastric glands. Gastric glands. Okay, stomach has a gastric glands. Now gastric glands secretes three types of juices or enzyme. The first is HCl, hydrochloric acid. Second is pepsin, and third is mucus. Okay, gastric glands has HCl, pepsin, and mucus. They secrete all three of them. Now what happens when the food enters into stomach to digest protein? Okay, to digest protein, gastric gland will secrete pepsin, but to digest protein, pepsin needs acidic medium. What does it need? Acidic medium, and that acidic medium will be provided by hydrochloric acid. But there is also a problem. It is acid, right? And it can harm stomach. So the gastric gland also secrete mucus, protecting its wall. Okay, self digest nahi tha અહીંયા. Stomach ને કર શું કહે બચ્ચા? So if there is no mucus, it will self digest. It will harm the stomach. So what will happen? The gastric glands secrete pepsin to digest protein, but it needs acidic medium, so they will also secrete HCl. But to protect from HCl, it also secretes mucus. So what happens? HCl provide acidic medium. Okay, pepsin does what? Digests protein into amino acid, and mucus protects the stomach. Okay. Now what happens, bacha? Let us see that the stomach now transfers food into small intestine, but not all the food will transfer into small intestine. Okay, only a small part of a food will transfer regularly into small intestine, and that is done by a sphincter muscle. Okay, stomach has a muscle called sphincter muscle, and that transfer food into small intestine, but in a small portion. Okay. Now once it is in the small intestine, the whole digestion will occur. What do I mean by that? Okay. As you can see in a mouth, okay, as you can see in a mouth, carbohydrates digest into glucose. As you can see in stomach, pepsin will what do? Digest protein into amino acid. Now in small intestine, the whole digestion, complete digestion will occur. How does it occur? So there are three glands that will help them. So liver secretes some enzymes, pancreas secretes some enzyme, also intestinal juices are there also that will help to have a complete digestion into small intestine. Okay. Now let us see what happens. What have happened till now? So pepsin શું કરશે બચ્ચા? Digest protein into amino acid. Now that food is transferred into small intestine, but it is acidic in medium, so that can harm the small intestine. So we need help, and that help will come from the liver. Now liver will secrete bile juice. Okay, liver secretes bile juice, and that juice will help what? Small intestine, and that will remove this acidic medium and turn it into alkaline medium. Okay, that will turn into alkaline medium. Okay, now alkaline medium is acidic medium is turned into alkaline medium. Why do we need that alkaline medium, right? First, that function we know, what? To protect the small intestine, but there is also another important function is that what happens, bacha? Pancreas also secretes enzyme that is called trypsin. Now that trypsin will convert protein into amino acid. Okay, digest protein into amino acid, but it needs what? Alkaline medium. So how does it happen? Okay, let us go back once again. Here is the acidic medium. The food comes here, we need to digest it. So pancreas will what? Secrete trypsin, but it cannot digest that food. Why? Because it is in a acidic medium. So liver will also secrete some enzyme called bile juice, and that will transform that medium into alkaline medium, and that way trypsin can digest protein into amino acid. Okay. Till now the protein is digested into amino acid. Okay. Carbohydrates into glucose, protein into amino acid, protein. There is one thing that we have not yet digested. What? Fat. So fat only digested in a small intestine. So what happens? Now when we eat something, it contains some kind of a fat. It will turn into large globules. Okay, globules mean droplets. Okay, droplets of water like a structure. Globules, and those large globules cannot be digested by small intestine. So what will happen? Once again, the liver come into our rescue, and that or it will secrete bile salt. Okay, it will secrete bile salt, and bile salt has a function of emulsification of fats. It emulsifies. What is emulsification? Or a breakdown of globules. Okay, but I have said globules. They are in the shape of large globules, and they are going to now fat is going to break down into small portion. Now that small portion needs to be digested. Now that help will come from pancreas. So pancreas, what pancreas will do? There is another enzyme called lipase, and that lipase convert fat into fatty acid and glycerol. Okay, lipase will do what? Convert fat into fatty acid and glycerol. Okay, the whole complete digestion have now occurred. Okay, we have digest carbohydrate into glucose, protein into amino acid, fat into fatty acid, and glycerol. Okay, question. Now the absorption has to occur. So absorption of these nutrients occur in small intestine, but it also has some different kind of a structure inside its wall. If you see, there is a small finger-like structure in small intestine. What does it do? It increases the surface area of the intestine to absorb that food. And this finger-like structure is known as villi. Now this villi is directly connected to different blood vessels. When villi absorbs this food, it directly transfer into blood vessel, and blood vessel will take this nutrient to the different part of the body or different part of the body of cell. Okay, so that is how it observes everything, every nutrition that we have digested by villi. So small intestine contains what? Villi, and a total absorption happen. Okay, and a villi has what? Bacha? Blood vessel contained or connected them. So blood vessel will transfer that to the whole body. Okay. Now the remaining food, okay, undigested food will go into large intestine. Now large intestine also have villis. Why? Well, large intestine also has villis because we have been doing this and we need water. Okay, we need water in every step of the way to do these functions in our digestive tract. Now, if we throw out water also, it can become very big loss for our human body. So what happens? The large intestine will absorb all the water and the remaining food will be removed. Okay? So function of a large intestine is to what? Absorb water. The function of a large intestine is to absorb water. Now, it will come, large intestine remove the, okay, large intestine will remove the undigested food through anus. Okay, again here there is a muscle called sphincter muscle is also there that will help to remove undigested food or a material. Okay, and that is how the food gets removed. This is your process of digestion in human beings. Okay, you will say, sir, there is also something called appendix. Okay, that is the appendix. It is a vestigial organ, bacha. Vestigial organ. We don't need that. Okay, in our digestive system. In a evolution, we have removed from our system. Our body has removed a appendix. Okay, from our digestive tract. Okay. Once again, let us see. In a human alimentary canal, what happens? So we need to transform carbohydrates into glucose, protein into amino acid, fat into fatty acid and glycerol. So there are different organs: buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, liver, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, appendix and anus. All of them have a different function. Buccal cavity will do what? There, with the help of teeth, we will grind food. Salivary gland will secrete saliva and it contains enzyme called salivary amylase, and that will transform carbohydrates into glucose. Now, the food will get from mouth to stomach through rhythmic movement called peristaltic movement into esophagus. Now, when the food comes into stomach, there are gastric glands will secrete HCl, pepsin and mucus. HCl makes medium acidic in stomach. That can help pepsin to digest protein into amino acid, and mucus will protect from this acidic medium. Now, the food will come into small intestine. When the food comes into small intestine with a sphincter muscle, the liver will secrete bile juice and bile salt. Bile juice, what is the function of bile juice? So it creates alkaline medium to help trypsin secreted by pancreas from digesting protein to amino acid. Also liver will secrete bile salt. It is an emulsification of fat. So fat will digest into small intestine. Total digestion occur here. Complete digestion occur here in the small intestine. So bile salt helps to emulsification of fat. What is emulsification of fat? Where bacha fat is now in the form of large globules and we have to break them down. We have to make more surface. Okay, we create extra surface. That is why we are breaking them down into small globules, and that will digest by the lipase secreted by pancreas. Lipase will do what? Will digest fat into fatty acid and glycerol. Okay. Now the small intestine has villi. That villi absorbs every nutrition that we have digested. It will transfer to the whole body. Now the food will go to the large intestine. Large intestine absorbs the water and it is removed. The undigested food is removed through anus. So bacha, this is your human alimentary canal or human digestive system. It is most important for your boards. Okay, so pause this video. You can write all this. Okay, you don't have to remember everything. You have to just remember certain things and their function. So you can write the whole short notes in a human alimentary canal. Okay, next time we will talk about respiration. Till then, bacha, stay blessed.